Muchas gracias. Buenos días. Well, I would like to start telling you that on June we have a lunch for fundraising for our center, and I was sitting in a table with this. Pardon me, something happened with these three gentlemen, and when I hear them talking, they were talking about their works, they were talking about the new party they were going to go, the new apps, and especially too about girls. But it came to my mind when their parents brought them when they were little kids. They came to the center when they were between 3 to 5 years old. Ronald, he was called they all have problems, and they have some things similar. First, they come from very extreme poverty homes in my country. Second, they have given them diagnostic in the autism spectrum without any kind of hope. And third, they have told them that they have very inappropriate behaviors. Ronald, for example, have extreme behavioral problems. Sandro have no school in my country could receive them for his tantrums too. And Juan Carlos have a lot of self-injury behaviors. The three of them have communication problems. Not Ronald, not Juan Carlos. The two boys talk until they were 8 or 9 years old, and they all use the pegs. And Sandro, the one that is in the middle, he only have echolalia. So seeing how were they when they were little and how they are right now. The three of them, if you compare now, they are grown persons. The three of them are working 8 hours a day in the best companies in my country. And they are and they are financially, the three of them, supporting their family. So that gives us a great job to all our team. They are having their stories, they have CNN have passed both the story of Juan Carlos and Ronald. So for us, when I see them talking, when some government don't invite me, but invite them and their mothers, I feel very happy. When they can talk to the city, when I see them so independent, productive, and happy, and that's three words that I'm going to all be telling you, and that makes me very happy. And when I see them talking in centers like the Center of Disease Control, those things, it means a lot of work of many professionals. Let me tell you the story of Juan Carlos. This is when he came to the center, and he had difficulty walking, he didn't talk, and he has self-injury behaviors. And the mother was very depressed. I told her, when they told me there's no hope, I told them there's hope. And if you and I work together in what we call the power of two, because we want in our country that families know how important it is to work with the professionals. And I told them that if they give them opportunities to her sons and they practice all what we teach them, then one day his son could be independent, productive, and happy. And I told them that she have to know one principle of the center, and all parents know the principle 70-30. That means that families, if they want their son or their daughter to advance, to have a job, or to go to the university, they put the family 70% and the professional 30%. Sometimes they tell me, why don't we reverse? You do the 70 and we the 30. And we tell them, you know what? You have the kids 24 hours. So, but they work with us as a team. So the mother of Juan Carlos came to the School of Families. All our parents work. So the School of Families is 2 times a month in the night after they come to work. But to each family, we give them 171 hours of training, including the siblings, between individual training and group training. So the mother was very eager to learn, and yes, she gave them opportunity to practice to Juan Carlos. When he was 7, she told me, Dr. Mayo, I have teach my son to come independently and take the public transportation. I mean, I knew where they live in a mountain. And for that kid of 7 years old that didn't talk and to come, I knew that all the decisions he had to take. And when I talked to her and told her, why are you putting him in this situation? I said, he's my only son, and I want to give him the opportunity because I know he can do it. So, so imagine this. He have to, from the top of the mountain down, he have to take that little motor taxi, we call it, and from there take his bus for the public transportation. And he did it. Poverty pushes us to make them more independent. And that's something that for the population I work, it's for us, it's very important that they learn the skills very quickly. When he was 8 years old, we find what are the skills he have. He likes computer very much, and he's so good. He likes to play musical instruments, and he has skills that are very useful for us. When a first lady comes to the center, I tell him, go to YouTube and learn the national hymn of Panama, and so he could play it, and he does it very well. Right now, he's 24 years old. He's working in a business, and he's doing this kind of work, and he's doing it very well. His dream was working 8 hours a day, and he's achieving it. And now he is the one that takes to vacation his mother. He is the one that pays. All our students, they learn that the first thing they have to do when they work is that they have to pay at least the water and the lights. So look the difference, how he came and how he is now. And her mother smiled. To see a mother or a father smiling is one of the biggest reinforcements for all our team. Now imagine that we have more than 100 of our students working in the best businesses in our country and in a variety of them. They work in government institutions, service industry, the office settings, and the factories and construction. Even in our Congress or our country. Even the president have closed the Congress, but still they are working. And they know all what's happening to in the government level. Sometimes I tell them, could you tell me if the president is going to get impeached or no? And they tell me, no, Dr. Mayo, it's confidential, and they don't tell me what's going on. And, but we are going to have elections now in January. So it's for us, for the business persons in my country, they are not going to hire them, nobody for charity. They hire them for quality of work. And that's what the business persons have tell us, 23 years that we are working now in support and employment. And they have passion for what they do. Kike, for example, the one that is in the picture down, he works in McDonald's. He broke his legs. But he told me one day, I'm bored. I still could use my hands. So McDonald's sent him all the jobs he have to do to his home. Who of us, when we are sick, we ask our company to send us all the work to our home? But he did it. So why the business people employ our students? And one thing is that they don't gossip. Many of our students that are working are not verbal. They ask for more work. That was a little problem I have with the other co-workers. They told me, Dr. Mayo, make them work slowly. Why they have to ask for more job? That's not in our culture. So I told them we have trained them to work in what's going to be the change in the business. They are loyal to the business. We teach them since they are very young to be grateful, to thank the people that give them an opportunity. I said, if Kentucky Fried Chicken hire you, love that chicken, dream with that chicken, but not go to their competency. Be loyal to them. We always tell them, gratitude is the memory of the heart. Don't forget. So they work in the best bank of my country. University of Harvard make a study, and they found that it was not only that they work, but productivity increased in 20% in the departments where they work. So that's for us very important. It's not only they are good workers, they increase productivity. But one thing important is that I give you an idea of the variety of jobs. This has sound too. Camilo is working in Fridays, and every kid has to work the policies of each company. Yvonne works making uniforms. We have her since she was a little girl. She has passed through several jobs. How many years in the working field? More than 20. Marvin doesn't read, talk, or write, but he's working. And what the business in my country, what they want is that they do the job. Our friend Gilbert have severe behavioral problems. And when I see working in the 4 Point by Sheraton, I said, wow, how different you are. But I think all of them are proud when they are working and when they are bringing a salary to help in their homes. Kike is very precise. Renato is another person working in a hotel. The same, doesn't read, write, or talk, but he does a very good job in this hotel. So this is an idea of the kind of works our students do. Jorge is 20 years in the workforce, but even they have changed their name. His name is Jorge. Now they call him the George Engineer. They call him even in English because he's the oldest person working there. And nobody in my country believed that he could work. Nobody. And he even was, they tell them he was not untrainable. And to see now that his father is very sick and he's the one helping in the bills to pay that will give us a lot of resources. So we work 55% of our population that works, reads, writes, or talks, but there's 34% that don't do it. So to have 63% that are working more than 5 years, and like 49% more than 10 years. So we celebrate every year with them when they pass another year. And I have learned the gratitude they have. One of our students worked in Pizza Hut, and when he was 10, he bring a mini pizza that they give him, and he divided in very little small pieces for all our staff. But was his way of saying us thank you, because he know how important is that. So when we see these two students and Marco, and both are losing hair too. We're getting old with our students, but when I see one of our students putting the roof, putting the floor of the house, and if they came walking like this to the center, and I find how proud they are of the difference they are making in the country, that makes a big difference. Sandro is 20 years working, and he can make a difference in his home. His home was a straw house before when he started. Now, first he make a house of wood, look how and now his dream is a cement house that he is building. We have helped him to, that he have a loan of the bank, but he wants to improve. And we give an award in the center called Caring and Loving My Family. We give it when there's a very difficult situation or an accident, and it's our students that really help their parents when they have faded or when something have happened. His father have a stroke, so he pay all the bills. He asked for vacation to help him with his therapy, something that if he could not work, could have not done. Who sent his sister to study accountability? Is our student. So now I tell the siblings, you better be good to your brother or sister, because maybe the future is in their hands, and it's happening. We train all the siblings since they are 4 years old, so really they could respect and help their brother or sister. So we teach them to use our public transportation. Our public transportation is not very easy, but 42 are using it. So we are starting even more early the kind of discriminations. You know, a car is not going to stop in my country if you're walking. We have to run. Okay. All right. So the same we have to teach them. But we want to film how they have to do it, because some of them live in very, where there's a lot of traffic, but they do it. We could not avoid that. We have to teach them how to do it, because when their parents die, we want to that they maintain working. So the workers, of course, we have more boys working than girls, as you can see. And in the ages, in Peru they work when they are 18, and we have one working that is 62 years, but is working. So how they earn salaries, the minimum wage in my country is $290. Some of them earn that salary, some more, and even their business give them, if the company have a lot of profits, they share the profits with them. The bank give them like $2,000. I have never received $2,000 as a bonus. So now we teach them what is to give. He said, so when you have more, don't forget the center that educates us. And so because those skills, we have to teach to our students too. So we love that they work those 8 hours, but we have some that are working only 4 hours. So the salary is less when you, of course, work 4 hours, but we have students working, having salaries even of $649. So they are financial providers, but they are caregivers too. You know, always we thought that they would always be independent, that the mother always was going to take to the son. But when I see some of our students being the caregivers, because I work with many abandoned mothers, so it's their child and the mother. And you can see here, Javier is working, and when his mother is very sick, and he is responsible of the medication. Only his mom tell him, please give me the white one, because if you give me the green one, you kill me. So better you make a good discrimination of the medicine. So they work for many years, they are financial providers, and they are caregivers. How we are doing it? What are the 3 keys that we, in all the model that we have, that we do it? First, is treating them as persons. We don't concentrate, they know they have autism, but before they are children, they are persons. And we remind them they are persons. If somebody have not tell them, we remind them. So 2 to 3 times a year, our staff talks to our students privately. We make a plan, because it's not only teach. Have a time with them, talk to them, tell them that they're important. You like to be their teacher. So we have a dialogue with them. Let's put the sound here, maybe. I think my friends have to coordinate their sound better.
Estoy muy contenta de ser tu profesora.
¿Y tú cómo estás, Alonso? Sí, estás sonriente, muy bien.
Tú vas a poder aprender muchas cosas este año.
Vas a seguir aprendiendo en clases de arte.
Deporte, muy bien, vamos a hacer deporte.
Las matemáticas, tú eres muy hábil también.
¿Ves cómo todas las cosas que sabes hacer? Por eso se te quiere mucho aquí.
¿Has visto? ¿Qué dice ahí? Ahí dice, yo puedo.
Acá dice, eres especial, ¿ve? Eres especial.
Porque yo sé que tú puedes, hijo. Sí, yo sé que tú puedes lograr muchas cosas.
Muchísimas gracias, Hannah, por escucharme. Sí, bravo, bravo, te ha gustado.
Yo puedo.
Así.
Yo puedo. Yo puedo. Muy bien.
So they learn to say, I can. And the same that our staff does, we teach them how to do it to the parent and to the sibling. And that's something I think Joe Copra is going to talk more about, self-determination, but that they believe in themselves, that we believe in themselves is very important. So the 3 goals, high expectations, have high expectations, and they surprised me. 40 years ago, I thought I was a teacher and they were students. Now I think I'm the student. and they're the teachers because I expect from them. The parents know that if their son is going to work, they don't know wait until they are 14, 15. Since they are very little, they have educated them towards that goal. So, since they are little, we teach them they have to take care of their things. They have to bring their bags. No parent have to be carrying them. They have to bring all their things. And the parent at the beginning is difficult, but they do it, okay? And second, we have one award that we give to all the students that's called Champion of Chores. So the parents do videos about how many chores they have in their home, and they send it to us. And for us, it's very important because the parents have understand the impact that chores have in their life. When they make chores, you're telling you're a member of this family. We do things, you do things. And teach them the principle of Premax. We call it in Peru the grandmother law. First you do what you don't like so much, and then first you work, and then you receive a salary. And they practice and practice. So this award last year was won for a kid almost 3 years old with 15 tasks. Okay, so the parents see that and tell me, oh, if that kid of almost 3 years can do it, mine is going. So see how Darian do those 15 tasks. What about, friends, the music or the sound? They work the community. We see how many prompts the parents are giving it. Well, we're working a little on the weight of this little kid. That's in a community place. So we're in 9 chores. The pictures so they could match, and they have a cat there that he have to learn to feed him too. So, and that's for us very important. Another parents tell me, I have given the opportunity that he put me injections because I don't have the money to be paying somebody because I have maybe this mother suffer from colics. And I thought, how this kid with so many stereotypic behaviors is going to do it, but he's doing it. Her mother have a stroke too, and he's helping with his exercise. So have high expectations, and they would surprise you. Her mother, I can do it. So one of the things that is very important for us is that you be detective of abilities. I like the bathrooms in here that they use more water than toilet paper, but in our culture they use still the paper. So all our parents would tell them when no more toilet paper, they have to get this, and then they have to focus on the abilities of their kids. So they don't forget to focus on the abilities. So the parents also send us, I said, how we are going to see the abilities? Observe, see what the kids could do. Because sometimes they say they cannot do that. Look at Josue. Josue, very poor. But all the pencils he could find, he put them like in line and he construct bridges. What he was doing, we find out, was he was doing the same way the bus took when he came to his home. When he grew a little more, he was doing it in pencil. Then he was doing it in 3-dimensional. Now he's doing it in the computer. And we are nurturing that skill because he have others, but he's very special in this one. So, and that's what we tell the people in our country. when we are, one of the things that business people enjoy were spots they were seeing in national TV. Spots when we concentrate in when they can do spots like this. Well, so those are things that then in what we are using more than 15 years is the term persons with different abilities. Because when we're talking for an opportunity, a person with different abilities, they always, the next question is, what abilities we're talking about? And then what we told them, according to the business, what our students could offer. So that's the treat me as a person. That's one of the key. The other one is the power of two. How we make the parents, all the family, we do not call it parent training, it's family training because we train all the family. This is how we train families. Our auditorium is small for the amount of families we have. We need to have closed circuit. And the level of participation this year was 77%. To have that high number, you have to really plan it, make it fun, make it functional, and make those parents that they came and learned something and not they lose their time. So we give them 170 hours of training. The mother of Juan Carlos that you saw at the beginning, she has 20 years of training in the center. That means 3,591 hours. So that mother now makes a multiplicative effect, training other mothers, because that's what she has learned. This is to have you an idea of the School of Families. When they arrive, the parents have to sign their attendance and all that. This is a Thursday. This is teaching them in group. Then they go to practice in short groups. And we have to plan those 2 hours that they are there, make any activity. If we're teaching sexual education, if we're teaching something about how to deal with behavioral problems, something that they could really practice, make the role play. We have our first family of India that came. So and the fathers are participated even more. So if they practice, if they come to the center, see what we are doing, and then they practice, it makes a different effect. You know, in my country, the parents tell me, don't only tell me, show me. So now we have a program called Family to Family. Well, 12 teams. Once a year, we travel to the remote areas of my country. But who is the team? Who are the members of the team? It's a mother, the son, and 2 specialists. In my country, they send me, I don't want that you talk. We want to see how the mother. The effect that you have a mother not only talking, but that they are doing a testimony makes a huge difference. We go to their homes 4 times a year. But let me give you, this is a mother, not with 1 child with autism, not with 2, with 3. See, in 2008, how she takes this kid to take public transportation. She have to have an strategy how to take the 2, the one in the stroller, and how to take them through the street, and see how she crosses the street. And even the little girl last year, she threw herself to the floor in the middle, but the mother very calmly and the brothers wait until she took over to the other side. So these mothers are extreme poverty, but they make it. How they cross, how they take their bus, I admire them for what they do. With what we look at, and then she have to find a way how to put now the 3 of them in public transportation. And when we give the skills to the parents, so they could do it. So now this mother needs to educate her kids. We give her the tools. Look how she educates the 3. It looks like a little preschool in her home. Do we have the volume?
Adriel está acá.
The three of them
Uno para mamá.
right now are going to regular public preschools,
3.
but it's the teaching. We could not achieve what we are doing without them practice it at home. We tell them always practice repetition is the mother of learning. And they're preparing breakfast. With mothers, we have a program for the parents how they can teach them. So, but I admire this mother. 3 kids, and she's doing it very well. And right now we are teaching. We have a project in Bangladesh that we are doing with Shuchona Foundation with Saima Hossein, and we are putting the model in one school called Projash. So I think our experience training 450 parents for 40 years, when we have when we train 1,000 families, is different. It's not so different. I think we have been practiced all these years. But I think one of the challenges in education and psychology is generalization and maintenance. I think what we want is to be professionals, that we teach what we teach, really the kids could apply it in different places, situations, persons, and that's why we need the family involvement. That's if we want them to remember and know that they learn something that they are not going to use. Our materials in the center, when you come to visit, is the same that they have at home, because what we want is that to permit that generalization. So we believe that people with different abilities could be independent, productive, and happy if we work with the family, and that's what we have demonstrated 40 years. So in the Prepare Them for Life, that is our third ingredient, is that we use a functional natural curriculum that we have developed with our mentor, Dr. LeBlanc from the University of Kansas and us. And we teach them we have developed this curriculum to teach them all the skills that they need for life, the academic, that they know how to dress themselves and all that. But we don't teach them only in the center. We use all our community to teach them. So our classroom is a community. We have made a map of all the things that they are in a community. The schools, a regular school, everything that's there. So we could really use them as educational places. So look, let me give you an idea of the center. Our center is, well, that blue building you see, but you see it's inserted inside a whole community, so it's very easy for our students that we could use it as a classroom too, because we have so many things, so many stores, schools that we could work with them and be able that they could practice that. So when we go to a store, and we go daily, we use the community daily, so that's where we could go and make them practice all that, and the parent is present there. We adapt the parents, work with our social workers, so the parent could come that day at that hour, so they could see what we do in the classroom and what we do in the community. Because the parents, the students have their IEP, the parents have their IEP too, and it could be a whole lecture to tell them how we work with our families. So, but for us, the important thing is that teamwork, and we take data so we could know if the student is not advancing, how we could change that. Our students, since they are 14 to 17 years old, they go to practice to all the business that are around us, and who are their coaches? Parents that really want to learn. Sometimes they tell me, I have a child with autism, but there's very little. I really would like to know what he's going to need when he goes to work, so we train him as coach. So places like Pizza Hut or, all the stores around there, they turn, while they're not public, in classrooms for us. And we have to educate them to how to do interviews. Many of our students are not verbal. And the business persons tell me, I will interview them, and we have to adapt the pictures so they could be interviewed. So this is an interview with a lady that is Delosi. Delosi covers all the brands that you see there. And Jorge is a person with autism that is totally nonverbal. And we just started educating them like 3 years ago. But the page, this is like, looks, he's bored, so the person, the CEO could ask them questions during the interview, and that's the interview. I admire the patience that the CEO have to ask them. She's asking, where do you live? What do you like to do at home? What is your favorite sport? And if you like sport, so that's one of the things that we train to the people in the business. Now they earn their money. What we need to teach them to use the ATMs, and it's not easy to teach. We have to teach them in the real places. So the banks they give us opportunities so our students could go and practice. So the Peruvian transportation, this is how it looks like Indian transportation too. So we have to teach them to go through there, to pass through there, and they do it because that's our culture, that's the world, and they do it. Now they earn a salary, they are independent, they have to go to all the parties that business do. So we have to train them. In the first parties, they like to dance, like all of us. But in the tables, there's the whiskey, the beer, and they make a big combination. So some of them were sending me drunk to send me Dr. Mayo. Bring a car, your student is drunk. Well, we have not teach them how to drink. So now we have to teach them how to drink. So we have to have social parties when we give them number. Okay, you number one, only drink all what you want. Beer number one, beer number two. So this is how it looks, a party, an educational party in Peru. And we teach them to dance, everything, because their parties are like 3,000 people, and that's the drink. We have somebody taking note how much they are drinking, okay, so they don't pass. And if they are getting a little drunk, you know how much you have to drink, okay? So it's inclusion to life. It's not only inclusion in their homes, in the center, okay? When they are 15, they don't want to eat soda. They want to have a good beer. And sometimes I think that they don't like maybe the flavor, but when they see the effects, they like it. So I see they can do better. They could go and talk much better with the girl that they like and all that. And so we have to prepare them for change. This center is characterized by change. Everything changed. So since little kids, we are teaching change everything. Change the time that they eat lunch or that, because when they are going to in Peru, everything changed. We changed president a lot of time. We changed the bus is going one way. It changed. So we need to teach them to change. When they work in a Starbucks, the schedule changes every week. So imagine. But we have one of students being the coffee master. The first coffee master in the world, as the highest title that Starbucks give, and he's very good. He serves the coffee very fast, and he doesn't make mistakes. That and he is in the provinces, not even in the capital, and that have made Starbucks in Lima gave us jobs for another persons. And they tell me, would they adapt to change? Yes, I always say yes. I am a radical positive, but sometimes I have to pray that they really adapt to that change. In Coca-Cola, I remember they told me, Dr. Mayo, you told us that they are going to go to the same conditions. Let me tell you the schedule. Everything was okay when they sent me. The first 2 weeks are 7 to 3 o'clock. I said, we have that experience. 3 to 11, we have that experience when they told me. And the third one, 11 o'clock to 7 in the morning. I said, 11 o'clock, 7 in the morning. They are going to do it, no? And I said, yes, they're going to do it. And they are doing it. You see, they have expectations and they good surprises. So the role of the center when we're working with business is be like the bridge, the communication channel between the family and the business part. We don't have, they teach me many things in the university, but they don't teach me to raise money. We have to, 60% of my students are very, very poor. So we have to raise money. I have to learn a new skill that when they tell me no, it's a slow way of saying yes. So I have to keep persistent, okay? But we have to have creativity. Maybe we don't have the money in the pocket, but we have the ideas. So with all this training that our mothers or fathers receive, they're excellent coaches. So if we have to hire between a parent and a student, we hire the parent. They need the job, and now the parents organize themselves so when one is working, another one takes care of the kid. They have to do it. I don't do that part, but they do it. They never are coach of their own son. They are coach of another student. So we start this dream of in 40 years ago, when nobody wanted me to give a place in Peru in the garage of my home. But I'm in good company because good projects start in the garage. So right now we start with 8. Now there are more than 400 students. And what we like is that the model is being exported to other countries. Sometimes it's how a culture like Bangladesh or other countries, but some are as the program in government level. I think what the persons, what the people want is results, what they want is quality. So don't forget that they work many years, that they are financial providers, that are caregivers. How we do it with treating them as persons, having high expectations, and the power of two, and a functional natural curriculum. Don't forget the story. So when you have a little kid, they are going to grow out. They tell me now that they are going to take care of me when I'm going to be old. So that's a good feeling. So don't forget to give this. See a mother how she came and how she's not is something that makes all. We are a crying society, so we cry of emotion. So thank you very much. We say together we make the impossible possible, and write us. Thank you so much. I didn't get the second bell. Thank you. Okay.